my progress, like at any level where I've had progress and it's been noticeable, where it's like, you know, you like you said, you're a producer, so you every day you just got your head down, you're working, and then occasionally you look up and you look around at what you got and what you have going on and what you've done and the progress. So it's in those moments where I looked up, which are far and few in between, it's like it's always been a slow grind. You know what I mean? It's always been a slow grind, and it's like by the time I had met Jointz, I had enough people listening to it where I had the confidence to be like, all right, I'm not going to quit because I'm doing this by myself and I'm getting a lot of people listening to it. If I could work with other people and have them help out and have the music sound more professional, then it'll just take off. So there was that reassurance there. But working with him, and then him introducing me to Dre, which was years after we had met, we had put out projects and done a bunch of shit. But it just reaffirmed, like for me, it's just been moments where my confidence gets reaffirmed. You know what I mean? When my friends were like, this is good, this is dope, let's get a studio, that's when I knew like, oh, I should be doing this. But everything after that has just been like confidence reassurance, you know what I mean? Where it's like, no, this is it, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, you know? That's just always the way I've looked at it. Because when I met Jointz, I was trying to quit my job, and then I met him, and then I was able to quit my job and come out here and do music full time. When we met Dre, we had put out multiple projects, and it was like, this is just another step. This is me meeting someone that could help me. This is me meeting someone that I listened to a lot that I didn't think was possible I would ever meet. You know what I mean? Like nobody, when you hear people talk about that shit, like, I knew I was going to be like, no, you didn't. That's bullshit. Because you go through so many years of losses and setbacks and frustrations, and just especially when you're coming up, that there's no way you see yourself doing it. You hope that you can get there, but when you work like I worked at Target, did roofing and did music, you know what I mean? Waking up at 5 a.m., getting home at 11:30, leaving my boy's house who lived 30-40 minutes from me, and doing it up. You're not looking at it like, oh, I'm gonna be working with Dr. Dre one day. Nah, that's a lie. You just hope that all this work you're putting in pays off. And that's kind of where it just fell for me, you know? When I met Dre and I worked with him and we did a bunch of records, you know what I mean? Like, stuff is never going to come out, but we did a bunch of records. It was like, oh, all right, bet. Because I could recall listening to, like, fucking Eazy-E and NWA, waiting on my mom to pick me up, you know what I mean? And then turning it off as soon as I got in the car. Like, that. And then some of the artists that I had met up there, just because he knows them, that shit was wild, you know what I mean? But just working with him and doing songs, that was it. That was like, oh, all right, bet. This is it. This is all I need to do. Because that's like, that dude produced like a huge portion of the soundtrack to a lot of what I was listening to. You know what I mean? So it's like, that was it. That was it. I didn't really need to. Once I worked with him and we consistently did songs and we had like all this, I didn't need to work with anybody else. Because it was like, it's not like some cocky shit, but it's like, when you work with people that like all these people that you fuck with, they go to this person and they look at this person as like, this is the blueprint. This is like your favorite producer's favorite producer type shit. You know what I'm saying? When you work with that person and then you look around and it's not like you feel like you're better than everyone else, but you feel like, I worked with y'all sensei and he said I was dope and we did it for a while. So fuck it. I don't need, you know what I mean? Like all the need for approval and all that, it literally just disappears. The first time, yeah, in terms of my perspective, just like maybe having like a fan moment. The only time I had like a real, with him, it was a little bit, but then he's such a normal dude. He's just like such a regular, not regular in terms of, you know what I mean? But he's just like down to earth. Like, he's like an everyday kind of person. So that, when you meet him and then you're one-on-one with him and you're just sitting there chopping it up and he's like, let's pull up a beat. It kind of, you know, the nervousness isn't really there because that's not the energy. I never got that energy from him where he made me feel nervous and like, oh, I'm on the spot. Like, nah, it was just always like, so you want to rap? All right, bet. Let's try. You know what I mean? It was always cool shit. The one person I did fan out where I was like, it was like J. Cole. That was it. I saw J. Cole once. I never met him. I didn't introduce myself. I didn't talk to him. I just saw him and that was like, what the fuck? But I think that was because I was listening to J. Cole that day up to the studio and then he walked in and I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, other than that, no. And I mean, like I said, Dre's he's the down to earth dude. So it's like, you know, there's really no nervousness. It's not like a pressure. I wish everyone could have that experience in every profession because for me, it was just like a big deal because it took that pressure you put on yourself when you are not meeting your own standards and you have not had any success. You don't feel like the successes you had are good enough. That pressure you put on yourself can be, it's insane. It could literally drive you insane. So I hope every talented creative gets to meet some fucking icon in their field and their craft because it will take a level. Even if you never, the stuff I did with Dre is never going to drop. No one will ever hear it, ever. But from working with him, it took that pressure off of, I gotta make something happen. I gotta do it. It's not there. You learn to have more faith in the process. It teaches you a level of patience that you're never gonna get until you have success, till you meet one of those goals that you set for yourself, or until you work with a person that you really look up to. Even if it never comes out, even if no one ever hears it, you need that, because that pressure will literally drive you insane. I was there, so I know what that pressure is, where you're feeling like you're doing nothing. Even though you're seeing little increments of progress, you're still looking for some big sign. And I hope that, more younger people have that, because the quicker you get that shit out of your system, it just becomes more fun. Because it starts off as fun, and then when you get good and people start to recognize you and say your name, and you're seeing good comments on your videos and your Twitter, and you're getting all this shit you had never got before, all this praise, and then somewhere along the line, if there's no crazy amount of progress, you feel like you just stalled out. You're stagnant, and it's not the case. It's just everything isn't overnight. And when you meet people that you idolize, you look up to, you work with them, when you get that respect from one person that you fuck with, it all melts away and the process becomes easier. You know what I mean?